Outbrain network, which monitors thousands and thousands of websites, they were tracking who was talking about Syria and when, and they were comparing it to the Miley Cyrus twerking fiasco. So first, let's watch Miley Cyrus twerk. I mean, someone needs to invade America so to deal with our crap too. You know, we're not that perfect. Okay, so they did this study comparing what was going on social media. That was happening the exact same time that Obama was first starting to talk about a military strike in Syria. So they monitored thousands of websites. There were, in the 3 days surrounding Miley's VMA performance, and this is right when the Syria thing was breaking, there were 8,000 stories about Miley Cyrus twerking and about 20,000 on Syria. Okay, that seems pretty good, right? That seems okay. Interestingly, though, the day after the VMAs, the Miley Cyrus stories accounted for 12% of all US page views, and Syria only accounted for 1%. So even though there were basically 3 times as many Syria stories, way more people, 12 times exactly, were reading about Miley Cyrus and the twerking. Okay, so here you go. This is global content.
Which one is Miley?
Which one is Miley? Do we even have to go into this any further? I'm pretty sure, yeah, the pink one is Miley, and we should have had a twerking Miley gif or something there. So yeah, I mean, we don't even have to get into the specifics of the numbers. They're bonkers. Way more people were tweeting about Miley, Facebooking about Miley, sharing links about Miley, all that stuff. Is this just sort of, we're Rome? You know, like, we got it so good and we complain about everything all the time, but, you know, some bad stuff happens in Syria, but at the end of the day, if a former Disney star is rubbing her butt against the father from Growing Pains crotch.
Scandal.
Yeah.
Scandal.
Is that just more?
Twerking chemical weapons. Twerking chemical weapons.
Yeah.
You're gonna put on the twerking. You're gonna put on the twerking.
Yeah.
That's how that's how we roll. That's how we deal with. I mean, this graph doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, not even the least bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no. I mean, also, I mean, it's so ridiculous that Miley Cyrus is out doing Syria news story. But you know, everyone. Again, we go back to the topic. Like, everyone is so sick of these, like, world politics of just war after war in this country and invading this country and so people are just like, you know what? I want some Miley Cyrus. I want the pain to go away.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I'll be apologetic because I'm the first to always say it, and I think a lot of viewers don't like that I say it. We're generally a stupid country, but in this particular scenario, I think it's the phenomenon of the 12-year-old. Now. Everyone's on the internet. I have almost a 2-year-old son. The boy knows how to use an iPad like he's 25, and he's like, yeah, swipe, and he finds what he wants on YouTube. Yeah. And the boy can't read, obviously. Yeah. But he knows what he wants and he finds it. So at 12, we saw the audience there at the VMAs, and they go crazy. I mean, when adults see, we go, what the fuck? Right. And everyone else goes, wow.
Yeah. So this is sort of the young people are consuming this stuff, and it's like when Bieber tweets a smiley face and it gets 30,000 retweets in a second versus
That's
something that Hillary Clinton might tweet.
And what I always notice this from is, you know, those horrible kid movies. I'm not talking about the Shreks and the Monsters Inc. and the new ones out, the airplanes and the cars. Those are good movies, right? But there's really bad ones, like say Snow Dogs. That you see the previews and go, this looks absolutely horrible. Who is going to watch this? They make the most money of every movie because kids go and want to see the movies. Oh my God, it's so funny. Then they take their father, then they take their mother, then they take the babysitter, then they take the big sister, then they take their friends, and all these ticket sales just rack up for these horrible movies because there's 2 or 3 fart jokes, and they go, oh my God. Then they buy the products. This is where all the money goes because they keep pushing more, and everyone does everything for their kids, and you get on the internet and they hit all these sites over and over again.
That's a really good point. This makes me feel a lot better about the graph because I'm thinking that graph is all adults. And I'm like, oh God, no one can. But
well, it doesn't
your
bode
theory
well
is
for the future then.
No, it doesn't bode well for the future. But then again, you know, a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, what they're consuming, they're not going to be very excited about talking about chemical weapons.
Yeah, all right, well, we actually have another graph for you, and it's not just America that has this major disproportion problem. Okay, so this is broken down by country. So you can see the US is crazy. We just love Miley more than everybody else, but it's completely bonkers here what's happening. The Philippines, Australia, UK, everyone's more than double. Basically, the only country that they paid more attention to Syria than to Miley Cyrus out of these 10 or so was Israel. That might be because they're next door. They're buying, buying gas masks. Russia was like within the margin of error because they're the heroes, so that they had to really pay attention to both. So does this give us a little hope? Because again, we think everything's about Americans. But there's a little hope to be seen in there that the Spanish, they're twerking too.
They're just as bad as we are.
I think this is actually the opposite of a little hope. I think this is just this graph actually made me horribly depressed.
Hopeless.
The entire world is excited to see Miley Cyrus back it up, but no one really is like, oh, Assad and the weapons, and then put on the twerking.
Yeah.
Put on the twerking.
Do you think we need this kind of escapism, though? There's only, we talk about this in the news all the time, but we do need some of this stuff to just be able to function,
Okay,
right?
maybe I'm the bad guy, but I go home and watch stupid TV. Because I sit and listen to President Obama speak. I listen to senators and congressmen speak all day and analyze everything they talk about. Then I have to go and dispel what they said and then remember what they said back in April to make sure that this shit didn't go wrong that way.
Yeah.
And the whole day, my brain is full of, first off, a lot of liars, and then you have to really critically think about what they're saying as they're saying it in their lawyerly terms. I get home and I'm like, okay, what is the dumbest thing I can watch right now? Because I need some escape from
So
reality.
where do you go for dumbism? Because I'm guessing it's not Miley twerking.
Well, if I'll go first to sports. It's awesome. At least it's not dumb, but it's some escape. That's my main thing. But then next comes on is the Basketball Wives, and I don't watch the Real Housewives, but because my girlfriend does, it's on. And next thing I'm like, how does this bitch do that? I can't believe she, And then I'm like, I can't. Like, I don't get into enough to watch every episode, but when it's on, I just sink in. I'm like, sure, let's go for it.
Yeah, maybe the more bullshitty politics becomes, the more craptastic the reality TV has to come to
My biggest ones
counterbalance.
are the ghost shows. I'm sorry, I'm gonna come back to your
ghost shows?
question. The celebrity ghost stories, the all the stuff on Bio, I Survived. Although those are real stories.
Yeah.
It's like sensationally, like that guy almost got killed. How did he get out of there?
Yeah. I've been watching these mountain men. These guys, they're something else. They're really, these guys, they're nuts. They're nuts. What do you do for the escapism?
I'm a crazy sports junkie, and I will watch absolute, like just hours. Like yesterday, I did the Mexico-U.S. men's soccer match into Rachel Maddow. So I'm like, all right, I got my soccer into Rachel. You know what I mean? But it is. You try to balance it, and you're writing, and I have to, just to do stand-up comedy, you have to consume so much news and politics. Well, I love to talk about that anyway, obviously. But then I'll just watch SportsCenter for hours, and 9 for 9. It was like this great documentary series every Tuesday this summer about female athletes. Oh, I think I've watched everything 3 times. Like I just can't stop.
Yeah. Well, as you guys probably know, my balance is watching copious amounts of the Golden Girls. Although 9 out of 10 times I'm watching and I'm thinking, what would Dorothy think about Syria? Really.